Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So today we are sitting down to film a Q&A. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea for a video. I know a lot of you love the vlogs, as do I, but I also love a good Q&A. I love a good catch-up session. So you guys sent over a bunch of questions for me over on Instagram. So we're gonna answer them here. And if I didn't answer a certain question or you have a question, feel free to leave them down below in this comment section. And then the next time I film a Q&A, I will pull some of the questions from the comments of this video, the most recent or the last Q&A that I filmed. So yeah, leave me questions down below, guys. I'll pull from there for the next one. But the first question I have is dream place to live other than Florida or Ohio, which is a great question. If you didn't know, myself and Larry are originally from Ohio. We love Ohio. You get the 4 seasons there, and then we moved to Florida, which is also very beautiful, tropical, sunny weather, also very hot and humid. But if I could live in a dream location other than Ohio and Florida, it would be somewhere where there's mountains. So either Colorado for me or the Carolinas. I love a river and I love mountains, and I also love fall leaves. I love that, but I don't know, since living in Florida, if I could handle heavy winters like Colorado gets anymore. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to tolerate that. How do you deal with stress? Now that depends on what kind of stress you're talking about, because if you're talking about like household stress, things to do stress, I would say lists. Lists help me tremendously, writing everything down so I don't forget things. And then I just try to tackle one thing at a time and breathe. I mean, I'm currently doing that. That's literally life at the present moment, where I was getting things organized, trying to get Liam's breakfast ready. Larry and I were doing breakfast, and I was telling him in here, I was like, I feel like I'm running in circles. He's like, do you need help with anything? What can I help you with? And I'm like, you're helping me tremendously right now by watching Liam and keeping him occupied so I can do breakfast. And then I'm thinking in my head of the other 15 things that I have to get done today, literally in my head, that's all running around in circles. So when it comes to kind of that stress, I just try to write it down. And I also try to give myself that grace moment of like, if I don't accomplish everything on that list, it's okay. There are certain things that I absolutely have to get done, you know, with deadlines and things like that. You don't have the choice. But other things, I'm like, it's okay, I can wait till tomorrow, such as the laundry, the vacuuming, the this, the that just keeps piling up. Now, if you're talking about like relationship stress, family stress, those are totally different stresses to navigate. I'm trying to think, like when I'm having those kind of issues, how do I handle it? Not always the best. But I would say if I would give the advice, like sometimes I let myself sulk in that stress for a little bit, gather my thoughts, try not to say anything out loud that I may regret, and then handle the stressful situation when everybody's had time to de-escalate, and then try to talk to that person about, you know, my feelings, their feelings, how can we resolve the situation? So if you're looking at that kind of stress, take time to calm yourself and then make sure you talk to that person. And just have a listening ear. Try not to just over talk and tell your side only. Make sure that you're sitting back and you're listening to that person as well. There's goal stresses, not reaching a certain goal. There's finance stresses. There's groceries, putting food on the table stresses. It's a world of stresses, guys. But if at the end of the day you're surviving, you're taking care of your family and your loved ones, it's a good day. It's a great day. But I do know that there are definitely some deep, dark struggles that everybody goes through. And if you are struggling, I'm sending you a big hug, lots of love, and I hope that you get through it. You will get through it, and keep pushing. Do you still like to buy Bath & Body Works candles? That's a great question. Okay, so since pregnancy, I mean, even before that, I started to get a little sensitive to the candle game. Like I would get a little headache here and there. I'm very prone to migraines and headaches, and certain scents would trigger me. So I have to go with the softer scents, like the vanilla kind of things. And then when I got pregnant, I kind of stopped burning them. And then having Liam, I've also kind of stopped burning them, plus the kitties and Larry. And so no, I'm not really buying them. But the thing is I have an abundance from previous sales and from gifts. And what I'm doing right now with them is I'll do a spoonful of the candle and dump it in my wax burner, and I'll light the wax burner and just heat it up. But even then, I let it go for like 10 minutes and I'm like, this is so strong. And then I shut off the wax burner. So I'm not really, no, to answer your question, no. However, when the season comes, like my favorite season to shop for the candles, which is fall and then Christmas time, I always pop on the site and look just because it's exciting and I used to love that. But I am no longer at this moment buying the candles. I'm much more into your natural fragrance scents. So, you know, essential oils or just essential oils, or honestly, my favorite thing at the moment, not when it's super hot and humid, but just boiling water on the stove and then adding fresh scents like lemon peels and citrus and cranberries and just burning off a scent like that, or the cinnamon sticks. Like that's my favorite thing to do. I'm much more apt to do that though in the cozy months like the fall. I love doing it then. But that's my favorite thing to do, and it's the least toxic to do as well, and it just smells really, really nice. Of course, you have to keep refreshing the water, but I can do that. That's no problem at all. Highly recommend that if you have not done like a pot, is it a potpourri kind of vibe? Love that. Are you getting Hogwarts Legacy video game? Great question. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. However, I'm not into gaming that much. I don't know if I would so much have the time right now either to play, but I mean, like if somebody came over and they had the game, or I went over to somebody's house and they're like, hey, you wanna play this for a minute? I'd sit down and try and play it for like 10 minutes at a time. It looks really amazing. It looks so cool. I'm so glad that they came out with a game. A lot of people really seem to be enjoying it, which is so awesome, but I will not be purchasing it at this time. Does that mean I won't in the future? No, but at this moment, I don't have the game and I have not purchased the game. This question made me, well, I had to think about it. Nah, kinda. Would you rather marry the person you lost your virginity to or work your first job forever? And I was like, what a question. And my answer would be work my first job forever, which was Dairy Queen. That is where I worked. You have the best lips. Do you have them tattooed liner, or have tattooed liner, or is that just natural? Which, thank you so much. This is my natural lip. I actually used to get made fun of in school for my lips, my bottom lip, because it was big. And I used to get made fun of in grade school. And I remember like sucking in all the time and trying to make my bottom lip smaller, which is so sad, like what the effects of being made fun of or teased can have on people. But yeah, now it's like all the rage to have like the pouty lips. But yeah, this is my natural lips and I'm very thankful to have them. So be thankful for whatever you have and don't let people make fun of you. Do you recommend The Alienist? I remember you guys watched it a while back. Yes, 10 out of 10 recommend watching The Alienist. I'm not sure if they're coming out with a new season or if that show got canceled. It has Dakota Fanning in it and Luke Evans. I loved that show. Larry and I really, really liked it. It's dark, but it's good. We're currently watching Billions. If you guys have not seen Billions, 10 out of 10 recommend. Very intense as well. We still have yet to finish You on Netflix. We still have to finish that, but we'll get there. Do you ever regret being a stay-at-home mom and wife, or do you wish you had a career? Well, I see it as both ways are great, and I think if you have a career and you're out working, there's probably part of you that wishes you were at home, and if you're at home working, there's part of you that probably wishes you had a career out of the house. So I think it goes both ways. I don't have any regrets at all because I'm able to spend so much time with my son and Larry, and this time you won't get back. Like one day we're all gonna be old and gone one day, and I'm able, thankfully, to spend this time with my family, which I really love. And as for a career, I don't have technically like your usual career, but I have YouTube, which is a career for me that I love, and I'm also very thankful that it became a career and a job opportunity. My current pumping schedule, yes, I am a pumping mama. A lot of you guys have asked too in this comments like why I exclusively pump, and that is because Liam wasn't getting enough at first, and the doctor, his pediatrician, recommended that I do pump so that I can see how much he was getting. And then when we started giving him the bottle, when I would give him the boob, he was like, I don't like this. I have to work for it, and it's hard for me to work for it. And then he would start fussing and crying, and it was like a whole ordeal, and he didn't want to latch anymore, which was kind of sad and heartbreaking. So that is why I exclusively pump. because I am still producing. It's going well, other than the anxiety that pumping triggers for me, which is really cringy and I don't like the feeling, but I'm providing for Liam and it's going well at this time, so I'm still doing it. But my current pumping schedule is every 3 hours, which is what he's eating. He's also getting purees now. So sometimes he'll stretch 3.5 to 4 hours, but I'm still maintaining pumping every 3 hours. And then somebody also asked if I'm waking up in the middle of the night to pump. I should, but guys, I'm so tired. No, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night to pump. If my son is sleeping through the night, this mama is sleeping through the night, because you pretty much are getting like 6 months of no sleep, and he is doing so good at sleeping right now. I'm taking advantage of those little Z's that I can catch. Where did you get your sunglasses? Okay, so a lot of people have been asking about the sunglasses that I wear that are kind of like squared. I actually vlogged getting them and trying them on in a couple vlogs ago. We were at Target, and that is where they're from. So if you guys are looking for them, I'll try to find them and list them down below in this video for you guys. Sometimes it's hard to find like the exact sunglasses from Target, but I will look and hopefully I'll find the exact ones. When I saw Liam in his crib, in his room, I realized you never really told us how that transition went. Really, really well. He was outgrowing his bassinet that was next to the bed, which is why we decided to transfer him. And I think it was way harder on me than it was on Liam. I'll tell you that. The first night I did cry. I was so sad. It was sad like looking over and him not being there, but at the same time it was kind of nice to like have the room to Larry and I, like have the room back to ourselves. But I missed him tremendously, but he's doing great. I've been talking to you guys a little bit here and there about him waking up frequently in the middle of the night. Like he would wake up 8 to 10 times. We'd run in, put the binky in, and then he would cry an hour later. Turns out he was teething, and that is why it was happening. And I knew he was teething, but I was like, is it just because of the binky? Has he gotten attached to the binky? But no, I think it was mostly the teething. And the last 2 days in a row, knock on wood, he has slept straight through the night from bedtime to about 7:20 in the morning. No wake ups, no running and putting the binky in his mouth. It has been wonderful. And I just had a phone conversation with my best friend this morning. We were doing a catch up and she said that her son is doing the same exact thing right now, which is great. And I was like, but are you still like waking up frequently throughout the night? She's like, no, dude, I'm sleeping straight through the night. And I'm like, man, because I'm still waking up. First of all, I'm waking up with pounding headaches. Second of all, I'm waking up just because, and then I realized, oh, I have to pee. So then I walk over to the toilet. So I haven't had like that straight night through sleep, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to force myself to just hopefully not wake. But what did I have for breakfast? Okay, this morning was very rushed. As I kind of said in the beginning of this video, I had a million things going through my mind. I remember being very, very hungry while trying to make Liam's dinner. I wanted to make scrambled eggs, but I was like, I just don't have time for that. So I poured myself a grain cereal, some kind of like that whole 5 grain, whatever cereal with almond milk. And then I chopped up some strawberries and half a banana, and half the banana went to Liam. So that is what I had for breakfast, and a strip of bacon. Larry made me a strip of bacon. That's what I had. How do you keep your energy up? Oh, well, I don't always. I think what you're seeing is when I film, I'm energetic and I'm talkative, and naturally though, I will be honest, I'm generally an energetic person. I like to go. I do not like to be chill zoned. Like, I like to be going 100 miles per hour. It's how I've always been. Maybe sports related. Maybe that's why I played sports growing up. But I am not always like this. I have days where I'm like, I can't function. I don't want to do anything. I had one over the weekend. I was like, right, I need to do this. I'd really love to film. And then it came to it and I'm like, the energy and my vibe has been beaten negatively, and just I'm tired and I don't feel good. And then I had no energy. Like, it was all zapped away from me in an instant. And I was like, well, that's it. So I definitely have those days where I don't have the energy to do things. I'm not always like, ah. Sometimes, like I said, I have struggled with this. And one of you guys told me when motivation is lacking is when discipline kicks in. And I have really lived by that sense. And I kind of like push myself. Of course, on those days when I'm not feeling it, I need to give myself, I told Larry, which some of you might think this is really aggressive. I'm like, today is a day of survival. and this is what I'm talking about on this past weekend. I was like, when I had all the plans to do stuff and it just all started falling through, and then I started beating myself up over it. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, put leggings on, because when I'm wearing nice tight leggings, it's my I'm gonna conquer the day fit. When I'm in my pajama bottoms, it means no, I'm not motivated, it's not gonna push me. But when I put those leggings on, you know, we're gonna do business. I put the leggings on, and then everything started falling through, and I'm like, no, I went and I put my pajama bottoms back on, and I'm like, today is a day of we're just gonna survive this day. I was half tempted to fall asleep on the floor. And anyways, so I don't always have the energy, but I guess sometimes I just push myself, but I also let myself have those days too where I'm like, no, this is just not happening, and that's okay. It's okay, guys. I feel like there's also energy boosters up there too. Like if you know, sometimes I have a cup of coffee, sometimes that doesn't work at all, or sometimes I'll go and get fresh air. That'll help boost my energy, or I'll watch a motivational, you know, little video, not a video that I'm gonna get stuck on my phone forever. Just something that motivates you, or motivational quotes. Like look at a few of them and then put the phone down. Also, I feel like putting the phone down also helps with motivation. You know, that was part of my downfall over the weekend, was something that I read on my phone, that if I wasn't on my phone, I would have continued on my game. And it was something that affected me negatively. So I think also limiting phone exposure, social media exposure, can be very helpful at times. I mean, social media can be wonderful also, but it can also have its moments. So try and find those things that pep you up, and that I think is helpful. If you weren't doing social media, what do you think you'd be doing for work? Well, before this, I worked in healthcare. I think I've pretty much always worked in healthcare since Dairy Queen, my first job, and then I was a dietary aide in a nursing home, and then from there I just kind of moved up into taking care of elderly in nursing homes, and then I did physical therapy. So I think I was always in that healthcare category after leaving Dairy Queen. So I'd probably be doing something in healthcare. What is your new YouTube schedule? I had a few questions on this, and that's a great question because it got very confusing there. So after Vlogmas, things got very confusing. Vlogmas, hashtag not Vlogmas. But I was gonna strip it down to 2 days a week, and then I'm like, no, I wanna go back to 3 days a week. So I started doing 3 days a week. So I'm trying to do uploads every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Keyword there be trying. I love uploading at 9 a.m. But again, like sometimes that happens, and you know, sometimes that does not happen, where a video is gonna go up in the evening instead because I needed the morning to edit that video. If a video is going up at 9 a.m., that means I had the day before to edit it. If it doesn't and it goes up in the evening, that literally means I edited it the day it went live. So tentatively, the schedule is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday uploads. Do you feel conflicted about sharing Liam online? I know it's a hard line to tread for many. Yeah, definitely. Like there's sometimes where, see, I don't want to ever make the focus fully Liam. And then of course I share life's moments, and Liam is in my life and in these moments. So like I share him that way, but there's times where I feel like I'm putting him in the camera too much, and then I have like that mom regret, and I shouldn't be doing that. And then there's times where like people will nitpick how I'm doing a certain thing, or how did you not know that you were supposed to do tummy time? And then I'm like, well, now that makes me like not want to show him at all, or not be as open and expressing like how things are going with him, because then I don't want people saying things, and it's just such a fine, dangerous line. Like I find it to be helpful when I am open and honest, you know, for other moms that maybe didn't know, but then you feel like that, you feel bad when you read something written about your child or about you and the way that you're doing things or not doing things, and then it's like, well, maybe I should just keep that door closed and not say anything. And it's like, yeah. So to answer your question, yes, all over the board with what to say, what to share, how much to share. So if you like, you'll probably see in vlogs where sometimes I'll be feeling really great about sharing Liam and being open and being honest. And then there's other times where I'm probably gonna feel more vulnerable, and where I am a little bit more closed off, and you might not see Liam as much, or I think that'll be a constant flow. There are things, of course, that I would never film and share, just for privacy reasons for us, for Liam. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting journey to share, for sure. I hope I'm navigating it well. I hope I'm doing my best, and I'm doing the right thing. That's all I can hope for, is that, you know, listen to my gut and follow that and hope that I am doing the right thing. Which Hogwarts house could you see Liam in? A Gryffindor, 100%. I really think that Liam is a Gryffindor. He's very brave, adventurous, but also very, like, I don't know, he's funny, he's sweet, he's cute. Those are not Gryffindor qualities. He has courage. You know, he's a little lion, I think. A lot of people have asked, am I gonna do the, have him crawl, if he's crawling at 9 3/4 months, have him crawl to the shirt to see which one he is, like Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. We'll see. Remind me when he's 9 months. Remind me when he's 9 months and 3/4. Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna do that? Because otherwise I'll probably forget to do that. I'll probably need to write that down on my calendar, but that will be fun. As long as he's crawling. If he's not crawling, you might not do it unless you hold things in front of him and he grabs things. I don't know. I'm going through IVF fertility issues. Was IVF a tough experience mentally? Oh yeah. IVF is one of the longest mentally and physically challenging journeys I've been through. I guess besides labor, like pregnancy and labor, but those are exciting because you've made it and then you're getting to meet your baby. But the IVF journey is definitely challenging. I would highly recommend definitely talking to somebody, whether that's your partner, a close friend, mom or dad, like have a good support system. And the IVF journey is literally like a full-time job, with the amount of appointments, injections, mental energy drainage, and the highs and the lows. Like, things can be so exciting and look so great, and then things can quickly turn the other way, and it is such an intense journey. So as I always say in most of my videos when talking about this, is give yourself grace. Do not be hard on yourself. Try, if you can, to stay focused on those one things. Hopefully also you have a job that allows you to make those appointments and go to those appointments, because the amount of appointments in the IVF journey is insane. Not to mention, honestly, the financial cost. I know a lot of people's IVF journeys are not covered through insurance and work. I think places are starting to, because I think a lot more people are talking about IVF and the struggles and infertility and fertility struggles in general. I think a lot more people are talking about it. So I know there's a couple of places that are workplaces that are helping people through that IVF journey financially. But it is definitely such a rewarding and incredible and an amazing journey, but also a very defeating journey. I feel like if you're not, you know, getting pregnant and things are going wrong, it can be so sad and heartbreaking. And I was very, very fortunate. You know, I had my fails with my IUI transfers. All 3 of those failed, but the first round with Larry's sperm and my egg, it worked out together. And then the first round of IVF transfer, well, technically the first round did not go well. Like, they could not put the embryo in my uterus. It was a botched job, but the embryo was safe and okay, and which was Liam. And he was refroze, and then attempt number 2 at that IVF transfer, but we didn't lose the embryo, so that was a plus. But the next attempt worked. And yeah, it just, my heart does break for all of the families going through IVF where things are not working. And I just wish that I could give you all really big hugs and just to stay strong and keep continuing that journey. Never give up. But I do want to send lots of hugs and love to anybody going through the journey, who's trying at home. Like, I think the hardest step too with the IVF journey, for me, speaking personally, was to make that first phone call. Literally to call and schedule that appointment was hard for me. I was so nervous. But if you are, you know, struggling, definitely make the phone call, and also make sure you guys are talking to somebody, whether that's your partner, your best friend, whoever it may be. How is your next IVF journey going? And that is a very good question. Excitingly, we have made an appointment to speak with our IVF doctor that we used last time. We have that appointment coming up this week. So we're just kind of asking the generic questions, like, you know, they usually want you to wait a full year after you have your first baby to start the journey again, but they did assure me or say, you know, as long as you're healthy, all is well, we can start that journey early. They said give us a call in March to set something up. So we have the appointment to talk to our doctor, and we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna ask all the questions, you know, what is the timeline? I do know that once I do start that journey, I'll have to go probably on birth control, do the hormones, which means I would also have to stop breastfeeding or exclusively pumping. Liam would not be able to have the milk, I'm most certain. So I just kind of want to get that timeline, see where we're at and what the doctor recommends. And then I'm also in that fine line of like, I'm torn, like, do I keep you guys updated in real time like I did last time, which I love. I don't like keeping secrets, like not keeping secrets, but I don't like not telling you guys things because then it gets confusing also. Like I'm a very tell you guys what's going on in the moment kind of girl. And when I don't, then it gets confusing and I don't know what I've said and what I should say and don't say. But then I also am like, but should I share? Because what if this happens? What if that happens? But that's also life's journey. You know what I mean? Like not everything goes well. And I would also share that with you guys. Scratch what I said then. So I'll be updating you guys in the moment, in the process. Yeah, so the process has begun. We'll say that. And that is the end of this Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for spending time with me and thank you for the questions. Don't forget to leave me questions down below that I did not answer in this vlog that you would like me to go back on in the future Q&A. Thank you so much and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.